how do you feel about this stipulation? I'm never a fan. I feel like a lot of times with the he'll never challenge for this title as long as this guy holds it again, is again a telegraphing, of course, that he's going to lose, so that, you know, now it's like, okay, well, as long as Bobby Lashley is champion, Drew McIntyre has to do something else. And we were also talking about this before the show. What exactly does Drew McIntyre go and do? You know, he's not going to move over to SmackDown because Roman Reigns is feuding with his own family right now, and that's really good television. So we're not going to mess that up. So what does he do? Go fight Sheamus for the U.S. Championship for a little while? Does he go, I don't know, does he fight Seth Rollins again for some reason? I just don't know what you do, because it just seems like he's such a main event championship caliber guy that you want in that championship match. And hey, maybe Bobby goes and fights Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That would be awesome. You know, that's a dream match we never thought we'd see. And if that's the direction they're going, yeah, Drew McIntyre should go fight Sheamus for a little while. Just like take a back seat for a couple months, bud. But where do you go? What do you do? The other thing I mentioned, I know I said I wanted a clean finish in the Women's Championship match, but I did want Drew to win the title back tonight and just kind of move forward that way. But here we are. I'm not mad. I think Bobby Lashley has been doing awesome, and it gives us a lot of other fresh booking ideas for Raw. But I just wonder what you do with Drew McIntyre at this point.
Yeah, that's really a good question, because Drew has been a consummate professional throughout this entire pandemic, was a great champion up until February of this year. And when he did not win the championship at WrestleMania, WWE made their decision. They were rolling with Bobby Lashley. I'm fine with it. He's a great champion. And I would love to see Brock and Bobby at SummerSlam, a match we've been clamoring to see for a very long time. And Bobby is super over right now as the champion, and I'm here for it. But unfortunately with Drew McIntyre, when he did not win the championship, I did not foresee a title change last night. There was no way in the world WWE would put the belt back on him in a building with no people in it. That would have been very lukewarm and very underwhelming at the exact same time. So I don't know, where do you go with Drew McIntyre? Does he enter Money in the Bank? Does he renew his feud with Sheamus after their series of matches on television and pay-per-view leading into WrestleMania? And every match was great, but we've kind of been there, done that. So hopefully somebody fresh comes up to Monday Night Raw, maybe a certain demon that lost to Karrion Kross recently can come back to fight Drew. That would be a nice fallback plan. But in the meantime, in between time, that would be awesome. But right now, I have no idea what they would do with Drew next. He cannot be in the WWE Championship picture as long as Bobby Lashley is the champion. And WWE made that decision at WrestleMania. I'm not upset about it, but you kind of put him in a corner as to what he can do meaningfully on Monday Night Raw away from the title scene. And I'm very curious to see what they would do. Will it be King of the Ring 2021? What diversions WWE has in store for us to get Drew McIntyre away from the main event scene?
So let me get your gut reaction here. I don't think we've talked about this yet, but let's say they decide to go Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2021. Who's the babyface?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say Brock is the babyface.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like they would turn Bobby. I feel like him and MVP. I think the other way around. I feel like it's just tailor-made to be like, Bobby Lashley's like, oh, you think you can come in here and take my title that I've been fighting for X number of months? I beat that Scottish guy that beat you at WrestleMania. Like, I feel like it's just so it's the Hurt Business works as a heel faction, especially with MVP being so good at what he does. But I feel like you can immediately turn this around if you have like the big bad Viking coming in to just, you know, take what he thinks is his, and it's just like, oh no, this isn't yours. I feel like, you know, maybe they're saving that big babyface turn for Roman, which of course they are, but I feel like they could do it with Bobby too right now. If that's the way they wanted to go, they could absolutely have that on their hands for SummerSlam.
Oh, it's definitely a possibility. Now, I will say, here's another question for you. If Brock comes back just in time for SummerSlam, does Roman Reigns have joint custody of Paul Heyman? Can Paul go back to his original client for a month to say, I'm just here to lend my services to Brock? Because as we learned nearly 10 years ago, when Brock returned to WWE, he was not very good on the mic challenging John Cena to a match at Extreme Rules. And Paul Heyman had to come back immediately to do cleanup on the mic. He's good in small doses, but he cannot carry a promo on his own without Paul being there in the clutch.
I feel like I discussed this in Double G in Slack for Fight Game, but I just feel like there's no way you could bring back Brock Lesnar with the Roman Reigns situation as it is right now and not have Brock be the babyface. And he completely disagreed with me. But I feel like if you're going to bring Brock Lesnar back to do with the whole, and maybe they'll, because they already did the Paul Heyman turns on his client thing with Brock Lesnar and Big Show back in Survivor Series 2003. And sure, okay, the rule of 7 years in wrestling, that everything is new after that amount of time. So, hey, they could just run it back and do that again. But I feel like they don't need to with how well Roman is performing. And I don't know, let him be. We've already seen babyface Roman against heel Brock Lesnar so many times. Like, I don't know, run it back, but give us something different. I feel like that would be fun. But I don't know, the possibility of a match with Bobby Lashley has been enticing for so long. I really want to see it. So, and I don't know, I feel like we have a better chance of them like fighting in an MMA ring at this point. So, yeah, Vince McMahon, just easy money right there. Book it. You want to fill that arena for SummerSlam? There's your match.
Yes, Brock would put asses in the seat. And shout out to Bobby Lashley for Hell in a Cell one more time, because I did greatly enjoy, as the Hawks were winning against the 76ers, when Bobby used the steel steps to smash Drew McIntyre in the face repeatedly. That was nasty. I appreciated that.